Everyone who thought that Elias and Ezekiel are the same person must be feeling so dumb right now. Look, I'm not here to insult your intelligence, but if after this you still believe that Elias and Ezekiel are the same person, you're stupid. You're an idiot. You're a fool. And I've lost so much respect for Kevin Owens. Sure, Kevin Owens is an amazing performer, but I can't support someone that stupid. I care about the man behind the character. I can't support Kevin Owens anymore. I can't let Kevin Owens insult my intelligence anymore. And I've seen so many dumb tweets about this.
Damien Sandow should dress up as Elias.
Why exactly? That's like saying Roman Reigns should dress up as Jimmy Uso. Why? We have Jimmy Uso. We have Elias. What's the point? God, you're stupid. Now, this episode was definitely a mixed bag. We got some cool moments, but for the most part, it wasn't necessarily bad. But during the show, I just thought, man, is this show ever gonna end? Like, sometimes you can feel these 3 hours. And I gotta be honest, at first, I was skeptical about this too. Not because I'm an idiot. Obviously, I know they're different people. That's obvious, but I thought Elias died. So yeah, that was definitely concerning. I thought Elias is dead, but I'm happy to see that Elias as well. Now, this show kicked off with Bianca Belair. Bianca Belair actually announced that Rhea Ripley is not medically cleared to compete at Money in the Bank, which actually surprised me because I had no idea, and I don't know what is happening, but it reminds me of WrestleMania 32. Remember that WrestleMania when half of the roster was actually injured? We're getting the exact same thing again, and SummerSlam is happening soon. So these whole championship unifications are definitely biting WWE in the cojones right now. Anyway, Bianca Belair is looking for a new challenger. That's why tonight we are going to get a fatal 5-way match to determine the #1 contender for Bianca Belair's championship. Alexa Bliss, Liv Morgan, Carmella, Asuka, and Becky Lynch. And yeah, it was one of these segments. Every woman came out, made a point on why they're gonna win the match. I feel like the only time these kind of segments work when it's a comedy segment. This was very formulaic and generic. But then we got the fatal 5-way match, which was actually a very entertaining one. This was pretty unpredictable, but I honestly thought that Becky Lynch is gonna take the W because it's a safe option. So this was a very enjoyable match with a shocking ending. Carmella actually won the match, and she's the #1 contender for Bianca Belair's championship. This was really unexpected. I don't remember the last time we've seen Carmella. Did she just came back? I honestly have no idea. I'm sorry. A couple of years ago, I would be really disappointed. And even now, like, it's a very predictable match, but I actually have high hopes for this, high expectations, because Carmella really improved. Like, every time we see Carmella in an important match, we feel like, okay, this is gonna suck. And every time after the match, we say, well, that was better than expected. So maybe it's time to admit Carmella is a good wrestler. And obviously Becky Lynch is not happy with this. I don't know why. You lost. But Adam Pearce reminds her that you are going to be in a Money in the Bank qualifier match. And it's happening tonight. What you mean tonight? It should not be happening tonight. And then we got something that I did not expect to see again. Mr. McMahon came out and he received even a bigger reaction. You know, people were doing this even. I've seen some people doing this. Okay, so first of all, Vince McMahon came out and said that John Cena is gonna be back next week. That's it. He also did this little jump. Vince McMahon is in a very good mood. And I have a couple of theories. I believe that the reason Vince McMahon is doing this is to show that I'm not affected by this. Everything is going fine. If Vince McMahon would leave for like a year or two and then return, it would feel like a big deal. But now, since Vince McMahon is doing business as usual, people are gonna forget about it. That's kinda, yeah, I believe that's the case. I also believe he's appearing to remind everyone that, yeah, maybe Stephanie McMahon is a CEO, but is she really? I'm the one making announcements. I'm the one still being on Raw. I hate to say this, but Vince McMahon played y'all. Maybe he even had a plan. If people are gonna boo, I'm gonna say something about it. But now, since everyone is doing this, oh, your Coco Jumbo is the best, Vince McMahon. Do whatever you want. I feel like that's why he was like, okay, people don't care.
Welcome to Raw.
Riddle came to the ring, and he said he disappointed the fans, and he disappointed his best friend, Randy. He cannot challenge Roman Reigns for the championship anymore, but he can still win the Money in the Bank. He also said he wants to smash Seth Rollins in the back with a ladder for what Rollins did to Cody Rhodes. People really love Cody. WWE are really pushing this idea, and yeah, maybe it's a bit too much. Let the fans decide. We already like Cody. Don't ruin this, you know, because WWE are kinda overdoing it at this point. And this was a Money in the Bank qualifying match. Omos versus Riddle. This was an interesting match. Two very different styles, two very different physiques. Kinda worked though. You know, I feel like Omos is improving every week, and I'm happy with it. He's a cool dude. Surprisingly, Omos won after he hit a finisher to Riddle. Now, Riddle was already injured, so that's an explanation, but I honestly did not expect to see this. I feel like Riddle could do a lot more than Omos in a Money in the Bank match. Then again, he's a big dude. He can probably do it. You know, he grabs people and just Then Seth Rollins came out. He threw Riddle out of the ring. He's the only man who has Roman Reigns' number. Reigns has been ducking him since the Royal Rumble. But Riddle came back, but we still got a curb stomp, so Seth Rollins stands on top. We got for Money in the Bank. This is a very unpredictable match because we don't have Cody in it. I honestly believe it will be Seth Rollins. I don't think he will win the championship, and if he will win the championship, it's gonna be when Cody is going to take the championship from Reigns, and then Seth Rollins is going to cash in, and Cody will be chasing the championship again. It's a pretty cool story, but that's just my prediction. Theory is bragging about being the future of the WWE, the youngest United States champion in WWE history. Next week is 20 years Cena celebration, but his time is up, and my time is now. Yep, people, we are going to get Theory versus John Cena. Man, like I've seen 80-90% people on Twitter are not happy with this one. And if I'm being honest, it's not a match I'm excited about either. You know, I'm happy for Theory, obviously. I just don't believe Theory... I don't know, man. Like, he's charismatic. He's good in the ring. Like, everything is right with this guy. Maybe I'm just not a fan of the gimmick. There's something about him that just doesn't work. I hate the theme song. Maybe that. Then he shows his muscles again, and basically he wants to prove that he's the winner. He has a better physique than Bobby Lashley. People started cheering, but not because of your muscles, Theory. That's because Bobby is behind you. An angry Bobby. Baby oil, spear, funny selfie. Bobby wants the championship. Austin Theory says he will get the championship match at Money in the Bank if he can beat 3 men in a gauntlet match, which is a pretty big challenge. The only time Bobby was in a gauntlet match was with them women, so it's gonna be really tough. It's gonna be unusual for Bobby. Then we saw Angelo Dawkins versus Jey Uso. It's interesting how in this rivalry we're seeing two of the best WWE tag teams, but I'm not feeling it, honestly. The Street Profits need to turn heel. That's it. They've done everything, they made every joke, they need to turn heel. Now, surprisingly, Angelo Dawkins won, and now it's time to talk about the highlight of the show. We're seeing Elias playing with his guitar, with a beard and everything. Obviously, Elias, how could you even how could he possibly grow his beard back in seconds and then shave it in a few seconds and then grow it back? It's impossible, people. You're stupid. God, you're stupid sometimes. Ah, what a lovely reunion. Elias says he's been out playing shows, but nothing compares to performing in front of the WWE Universe. And Elias is happy to see Ezekiel living his dream. What a brother. Ezekiel says it means the world to him that Elias is here with him. Ezekiel talks about being in the Money in the Bank ladder match. Elias says he shouldn't get ahead of himself. A caring brother. Just focus on what's in front of you. You've been doing a great job lately, and I love you. Imagine if somehow, which is impossible, they actually faked it and he was talking to himself. I guess wrestling fans are idiots. Then we're seeing Elias in the ring. He thanks the fans for taking care of his little brother and reminds everyone what WWE stands for. Obviously, walk with Elias. Elias wanted to play a song dedicated to his brother Ezekiel, but Kevin Owens interrupts and he still calls him a liar. You're not gonna fool him like you fooled these people. Kevin Owens needs help. He says this video doesn't prove anything. I've seen a movie where a dinosaur flew a helicopter last week. Yeah, but this is live television, Kevin. This is live. That's the difference. God. My brain hurts. My brain hurts. But then Ezekiel appears on the big screen. We're just gonna have to accept the truth. Elias played his song KO is a liar. Then we got a brawl. Ezekiel stands tall, then Kevin Owens is angry. This doesn't prove anything. And of course we're seeing Ezekiel. How is that even possible? How could he change so fast? It doesn't make any sense. If you people still believe that this is the same person, you need to seek help. And Kevin Owens just had a mental breakdown. If WWE actually faked this and put in so much effort, I would give WWE a huge compliment because it seems like a lot of work went into this. You know, WWE absolutely nailed it. But since it's not fake, and obviously Elias and Ezekiel are different people, business as usual, but I'm happy to see Elias back. And next week, we might just see their other brother. The first Bobby Lashley's opponent in a gauntlet match was Chad Gable, which he successfully defeated. Then it was Otis, and Bobby Lashley defeated Otis via disqualification. And then it was Theory. We saw a pretty cool reversal, and Bobby Lashley pins Theory, and he's getting the championship opportunity. Is John Cena going to face Theory for the championship, or is it just gonna be a normal match and Bobby is taking the title? That's gonna be pretty interesting, and I believe it really depends on the result of John Cena versus Theory. If John Cena is meant to win, obviously Theory is gonna lose the championship to Bobby before, so yeah. Then we saw Miz TV with AJ Styles, and Miz was basically calling AJ Styles a failure. You fell off. How it feels to be a disappointment. And then Styles mentions Miz's tiny little popcorn balls. This is a rivalry I do not need right now. Why WWE? Okay, the brand split, I hate that it's not a thing anymore, but it's not a thing anymore. If it's not a thing anymore, why are we not getting AJ versus Roman Reigns at SummerSlam? Why are we getting Brock Lesnar versus Reigns again? I'm glad Brock is back, but there are other challengers I would like to see facing Brock Lesnar. So of course Ciampa attacks AJ Styles. I don't get this bromance, but whatever. And we got AJ Styles versus Ciampa, which... man, if you told me about this match a couple of years ago, I would be really excited, but this felt like another Raw match. Like, honestly. And AJ Styles won the match just like that. Then he beats The Miz as well and takes his glasses. I don't get why would Tommaso Ciampa lose. He didn't feel important when he came to the main roster in the first place. WWE absolutely shit the bed with him. This match didn't even need to happen. And in the main event, we saw Asuka versus Becky Lynch. It was a Money in the Bank qualifying match. The match starts before it even starts. This was okay, but I feel like I've seen it already. Like, it seems like I'm watching the same episode of Raw I've seen a couple of weeks ago. I'm having a deja vu, basically. Honestly, I was sure Becky is gonna win this one, but surprisingly, Asuka won the match. Becky is devastated and she doesn't have a place in the pay-per-view. A pay-per-view where she's on the poster, so that's crazy. But yeah, people, that was your episode of Monday Night Raw. Like I've said, definitely a mixed bag, but this Elias Ezekiel thing was just one of the greatest segments I've seen lately. That was great, because obviously I miss as Elias. It's been a while since we've seen Elias. I'm such a big fan. Imagine if WWE faked it, they would be worthy of an Oscar, but of course they didn't. So yeah, awesome. The Great One, peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.